Hi guys, we just got some great news here at our farm. Join me, let's go talk to Fred about it because I really want to share this news with you, okay? Hi Fred.
Hi Nadia.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I come in?
Yes, you can.
It's safe?
Yes, I can't promise you full safety, but I think you're safe for now.
Woo! Congrats. So I understand you were actually on your way to somebody else's farm and then you got called that you had to witness the miracle that was happening. So you quickly aborted all mission. How does that feel?
No, it feels great. I think this is the first time we are having a Sannen Goat in Ghana here, right? So these are the milking goats and we breed them for multiple purpose, you know, for the milk, but either you're selling the milk to consumers or you're actually using it in your breeding process. We, in this case, we have two of these Sannen goats and we are breeding them with all our goats so that we will use the extra milk that we will get from them to support the other goats.
So we are not breeding them for yogurt production or cheese?
No, not yet, not yet.
People shouldn't come here and buy milk from us.
No. We are using them to support other moms.
Oh, wow.
So this is the first time they are giving birth here in Ghana.
Wow.
Right, so it's very exciting news. That's why I had to drop everything and to be here.
I can feel how proud you are of the mother especially. But so how old? How has it been? How long has it been?
This just happened basically. What happens is that he was actually out there grazing when he started, you know, the water burst, and then once that started, you know, he was in the process.
Did it make funny sounds to let you know it was in labor?
No. I think the good thing is that, you know, our farm managers are always on site, you know, watching them all the time. So the moment they saw, I think I came here a couple of days ago and knew that definitely this goat was going to give birth. So I actually put a lot of pressure on them to finish our gestation pen.
Finally, we're actually using it, guys.
I think that preparation was done ahead of time to be able to facilitate this.
So when the water broke, typically, I don't know how long the delivery of goats take. Typically, how long does it take?
It depends, but on each goat. But I've seen some between 30 minutes to 1 hour, and then it's
and I heard we can go as short as even 15 minutes.
Yes, it depends on the goats. It depends on how many are coming.
Oh yes.
How big they are, right? This time we're very lucky to get two goats, a male and a female.
A male and a female. The flock is expanding, and Fred, I can't keep my eyes off the boobs. I mean, how many liters can this give us in a day?
Approximately about 3 liters a day. Yes. So now, you know, once the goat give birth, the first breast milk, which contains the colostrum, is very important. So we make sure that the kids get enough of that. And for them to start building the immunity, start walking, then before we start, you know, milking it.
Let's go straight into what happens directly after birth, because I know it's a very vulnerable state they are in. As a livestock farmer, you know, a lot of people actually learn from us. Guys, this is practical education. And by the way, if you are watching us for the first time, the excitement didn't even make me give you a proper introduction. But this is Farming in Africa YouTube channel. You are really in for a treat. Please subscribe, like, share, comment as well. And if you're already a subscriber, you know what to do. Hit the notification button. So when the other Saanen actually delivers, you don't miss that update as well. Fred is going to tell us some of the precautionary measures we take, or as a farmer, you have to take when your goat delivers. So please, we are listening. What do you do immediately after birth?
Yes, so I think as a farmer, you need to always be prepared. And that's why it's important for you to breed your animals together, know when they are crossed, so that you know when they will be giving birth, right? So this animal we imported from South Africa 5 months ago. Right, just 5 months ago, and we knew that the moment this animal came, we had to cross it. So we crossed this animal. So we know that in the next 5 months, this animal is going to give birth. So we're expecting it in June, early June, right? So that's why we started doing all the preparation. So as you can see, the first thing we do is to prepare where the animal should be delivered. Or in case of an emergency and it even delivers outside, the bedding and everything that needs to be done is already done, right? So this gestation pen needs to be prepared. The moment you see the animal give birth, the first thing is you give it about 30 minutes to lick the baby born with them,
Oh, so you don't disturb the mother
No,
after
you don't
that?
get closer. You make sure that they're able to bond together,
Oh.
lick them, and then you come and make sure that the babies are getting the breast milk. That again, you're also observing the mother's trait. Is this mother, does he have a better mother instinct? Is he a good mother? Is he allowing them to breastfeed and all of that?
Yeah.
So you give them at most about 1 hour, 30 minutes to observe and see this process happen. So the moment you see the kids being able to suck and get the breast milk, you're like, great. Once they are done, then now you can go and actually use your hand to pull it to make sure that it's actually coming.
It would allow
It
you
has to allow you, otherwise you have to hold it.
Hey, farmers are doing well.
Yeah, you need to make sure that it's coming because you don't know if the kids are getting it or not.
So
So you need to practically also make sure that...
confirming by pulling it.
Exactly, to make sure that it comes.
Wow.
So once that is also done, then the next thing you have to do is when it's giving birth, it lies on the floor. Right, so the genital organs is exposed to parasites and bacteria. So then the next thing you have to do is to treat that. So we will then give Mazitex, which is an antibiotic, to treat any infection that could have gone through during the process.
So I was going to ask you, you've not mentioned any medications yet.
Yes.
So this is also in a period of the first 2 hours of delivery.
Yes, after.
You can't wait after that.
You can wait a bit if there is an issue or anything, but if the mother is healthy, the kids have gotten their first suck of the breast, you've confirmed it's working, you wanna medicate the mother.
So you mentioned Moxitest, which is an antibiotic.
So it's an antibiotic that we use, and we'll give that right away. But then for female goats, mostly the first time the kids are sucking, it's painful. So again, we will also do penicillin for the pain. So we'll do antibiotics and then do penicillin for the pain.
That's some really free knowledge for you out there. You see why you have to follow this channel, because we give all of this knowledge out for free. I have one last question on the whole process of delivery. You've mentioned you give antibiotic. What happens when there is excessive bleeding after delivery? Does it happen in goats?
Not really. I have never seen that in goats over my years.
Because I was wondering if you are going to give blood transfusion and all of that in goats.
I mean, I guess it could happen. We are not prepared or set up for that yet. But lucky enough for us too, that hasn't happened.
Wow. And Fred, let's stay a bit on this. I am super excited to show our audience, because in previous videos they've seen how we've talked so much about the gestation pen, the lactating pen, but they are seeing it completely set up for practical use. Talk about the bedding. How often do you even change it? And just educate me a bit on that. And I can see you've provided feed. It's not small pampering you are giving the mother.
I mean, the mother has gone through a lot. I think as a lady, you understand that they deserve all the pampering after this.
All right, you heard it, guys. Okay. So what goes into that?
So the bedding is basically leftover hay. If you've seen our pen, we do give hay. So as they're pulling the hay, a lot of it is also falling down. Right. So the hay that's falling down, we gather it and we store it. Right. And then during moments like this, we put it as a bedding to provide comfort for the kids and the mom as well. And we'll basically change it with 2 people. We'll probably change it in a week time because they are not spending all their time here. They will come here a bit. We'll also let the mom go graze for some forage as well. So after about a week, but you always have to monitor, see how wet is this, how dry it is, how much poop.
Because I heard sometimes you have to even change it after 2 days because it's that wet.
Exactly. Maybe it gets wet, it gets rain, but with this, their pee and poop, just for the mom, you can go up to a week, but always observe and then you can make those changes yourself.
I see. Talking about crossing, I am a bit curious about that because I'm looking at a Sannen goat. And at least I know enough to know those 2 cute babies or kids, they look like Boer. So yes, it obviously means you crossed it with a Boer. Right here in Ghana.
So this the Sannen goat, we bought just 2 females, so we didn't buy a Sannen male. The plan is to cross them with a Boer and still keep our 2 original Sannen goats because it's something that I'm very interested in, getting the Boer size and getting the breast milk of a Sannen. So let's see how that goes.
That's innovative, very, very innovative. But I'm just curious, I know we import goats for other farmers who are interested as well. Can somebody place a specific request like, oh, I want a pregnant animal? to import. Do you do that? Do you offer that kind of service?
Yes, I think every farmer has its own vision. So depending on what the farmer is looking for, that is what we actually provide. So you can either place an order for a goat that have been crossed already, and once the goat come, we'll let you know who crossed the goats, how old the goat was, when was he crossed. I think one thing we are doing actually in our next order is to gather all this information, go to South Africa, be able to do all the crossing and specifics. Calm down before we even expect the goats.
So basically get us the history if possible.
Exactly, everything that we need to, like the medication, the history of the goats and everything, before we come down. I think that's what we are hoping to achieve. So yeah, if you're interested in either this kind of goat, which is the Sannen Goat, the Boer goat, just let us know. Let us know what you want. What age do you want? What size do you want? Mostly our sizes are big because we use this farm as a demo farm, right? So I can buy a goat that's about 4 years, 3 years, right? And it's okay for me. But if you're a breeder, you need a goat that's like 1 year so that it can breed for a longer time for you, right? So depending on what you want.
Well, let's go a bit into the economics because, Fred, I'm looking at a farmer purchasing an already pregnant Sannen goat. So in what, 5 months time? Can you do that math a bit in there for me? Because if there is somebody watching, and I always say contemplating, hopefully your calculation would open up the person's eye to see the economics in this.
Yeah, so these goats are not cheap, obviously. You know, in South Africa, you're looking at buying some of these goats from $900 all the way to $3,000, right? So it depends on the kind of goats that you buy. By mostly the commercial goats, you're looking at $900, maybe maximum $1,000 for a commercial goat if you go to the right breeder. You have to go through your importation requirements in South Africa and locally to get them here and fly them. Most of you don't know this, but we have to fly the goats from South Africa to Ghana. Once they arrive in Ghana, we also have to go through the protocols with the Ministry of Health and the Veterinary Service to make sure that we have all the paper requirements and everything. Then after that, we have to go to the immigration, right, and pay all our taxes.
I didn't know it involved this much.
Yes, so we have to pay all our taxes, you know, on each goat. So at the end of the day, you're looking at about $1,500, $1,600, right? And that's how much these goats are costing us. But what is the economics? So if this goat comes pregnant in 5 months' time, you expect, you know, an average of 2 kids. So we've had a goat here who gave birth to 3. We've had some that gave birth to 2. We've had some that gave birth to 1 at their first time. It depends, but on an average, you're getting 2. So if you get after 3 months 2, and you bought 1 goat for $1,500, that means that at the end of 5 months, your farm is valued at $4,500. And I think that is
just 3 number, like a number of 3 animals.
Yes, and I think that is definitely like the real economics behind this, right? And if you have feed, that's why we also advocate that you grow your own food, because if you grow your own food, then you don't spend too much on feed. Right? The issue with livestock farming, when you talk about the poultry, the pigs, is the cost of feed. You will use all your money to go into the feeding. But if you're doing goats, you save money on feed by growing your own feed. And then a lot of the money is basically on the goat, which is going to reproduce for you to earn that money, right?
I get teased a lot about how bad my math is, but even me, it's been made so clear to me, and I see the profitability in all of this. Fred is quite still busy with his babies, as he calls them, but I just want to ask you one last question, so I leave you alone, sir. I can't stop looking at the boobs of this animal. Guys, you should see it for yourself. But so it's been what? Just a day, barely 24 hours. What typically are we going to look at as a routine for at least the next 1 week? Are there some medications that are routinely going to be given? What would you do till 1 week successfully passes? Then they get adjusted to the environment.
I think for 1 week, it's a lot of observation. Yes, so your environment needs to be very clean within this 1 week. You know that the kid's immune system is still very weak. So, you know, you're making...
But that's... Wait, Fred, let me interrupt you. It doesn't look like a day old, though.
It is, but it is. I mean, this case we're born at what, 3.7 kg. You know, we have a West African dwarf which is 3 months and it's weighing 6 kg.
And this is birth weight of 3.7.
That's the importance of that's why these breeds cost so much, right? So you're getting value for what you paid for, right? So
yeah, you're getting value for. Yeah. You take me through the 1 week measurements and measures and all.
1 week, we don't do any medications. It's more of observation, making sure the pen is clean, making sure that they are drinking enough breast milk. You know, and staying staying healthy, gradually exposing mother, you know, to a little bit of fodder, a little bit of processed food, getting enough rest, you know, also regulating the temperature, making sure they are not too cold. So all these signs, I think vaccination will start after 2 weeks. 2 weeks is what we start our vaccines. So we don't even do antibiotics or even dewormer in 2 weeks. All we do is vaccines on the 2 weeks. And then the next 2 weeks, we also do a booster of the vaccines. And then in 3 months' time, that's when we start doing antibiotics and dewormers.
If this were a crop farm, I would say everything is organic. I think I can even apply it to a livestock farm, because in the first 1 week, I like how he didn't descend heavily on medications. I was probably thinking, hey, we'll be giving painkillers, antibiotics, dewormers, vaccinations, but you heard from the horse's own mouth. I wouldn't bore you today, and I wouldn't also want to keep Fred here for long because he's going to be busy with his new kids.
I would say one thing though, if that's okay. Yes, I think most people will give young kids like this iron. Right? The moment they are born, they will give them iron for their bones. No, injection.
Wow.
But I do not agree with that because they are still too young for that. If you're feeding them right, you shouldn't be worried about them being deficient in iron. So our feed will have iron, and their mom should be able to produce all of that.
Their breast
milk. And give it to them. And these guys in 2-3 weeks are going to start eating their pellets as well. So as they are eating, they will get all the nutrients again that they need. So that's the only thing I know is very common, that people will go in for iron.
But you don't personally agree with that?
We don't do that if you're feeding well.
Talk about intentionality in everything here. The planning that goes into their nutrition and all the 5 fundamental pillars in livestock agribusiness we've been preaching about over and over and over. It's been a very eye-opening, short period of discussion with you. And I know I came to tell Fred congratulations, but of course I won't leave here without some education. That is free education and knowledge for all of us, guys. And we want to say thank you for your time. So definitely we are going to give you progress reports on these 2 kids, because if at birth weight they are just what, 3.7, I can't wait to bring you their weight at even 3 months. So continue to stay tuned, because we are really going to bring you very, very exciting content. And thank you so much for always being with us. It's bye-bye for now.